Okay, in my previous video, I showed a very manual way to go through and do a search and replace looking for wp.me shortlinks in a website that's no longer on WordPress.com. I'm going to show an advanced way to do this now. This advanced method is very dangerous. I do not recommend that everyone should do this. I'm sure you're perfectly capable of learning how to do it. I'm sure you're perfectly capable of doing it very well, but it is something that if you make a mistake, the mistake can be irreversible if you don't know how to back up your database and restore your database. So that would be a prerequisite that I would recommend, and I would recommend having some experience with it before ever attempting this. This particular website, This particular website is hosted on GoDaddy on one of their managed WordPress hosting systems. They do nightly backups of the website and the WordPress database. They keep those backups separate, so it would be possible to easily roll back if you happen to use GoDaddy managed WordPress hosting. I also recommend WP Engine and Pressable as alternative managed WordPress hosts. There are a bunch of them out there. Those are a couple that I recommend for clients in specific circumstances, depending on budget and other requirements. So I want to show a more advanced way of doing this using a search and replace tool that will rewrite specific things that it finds in the database and speed things up. Now, before I'd found a link on the site, and I've now found a new link. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this link in a new tab like we did before. I want to test to see if it works or not. In this case, that link does not work. I want to find the correct link, what it should be going to. It is not, because the site no longer exists on WordPress.com, so I'm going to take out the S, excuse me, because this is not a secure site, and point it to the right thing. The permalink at the end matches. So all we have to do is correct the domain name, hit enter, and this should load the correct page. Now at this point, this correct page gives us the destination link that we want. Just to keep track of the links, I'm going to open another tab and put that short link back in there. I'm not going to load the page though. I'm not hitting enter, I'm just going back to the tab that I was in. Now, in WordPress, I have a plugin installed on this particular site. I'm going to show you that plugin. Again, if you don't know how to back up a database and restore it, I urge all sorts of levels of different caution here. But I do want to show you how this works. I'm using a plugin called Search and Replace by Impside GmbH. There is a better Search and Replace plugin as well that I normally use and recommend, but it was not working on the GoDaddy Managed WordPress hosting service. I don't know if it needed an update or if there's some incompatibility there. This plugin is working. It's not working easily, but it is working. It's a little cranky. I suspect there's something going on with the way cache is set up on the server that makes this particular plugin a little extra challenging. So this is an advanced thing to do in general, and running in this particular environment, it's tricky on top of being advanced. So I'm going to go to the plugin, and there are several tabs here. I want to use the search and replace function, and since I had those tabs, I have easily available that WP me link that is broken, and that's the link that we want to search for. So I'm going to paste it into the search for box. I have the new link, the one that we traced it back and figured out where it should go. And we want to search for the short link and replace it with the new long link. And we want to then find the particular data table in our database. From experience, I happen to know, that this is the posts database. Now there's a whole bunch of extra information at the beginning of this, but it's the table after the underscore that says posts. And then I need to scroll down. We can do a practice run if we want. So if we do nothing else and hit do search and replace, it will only search. It will not replace anything. And we can do that if we like. I'm going to uncheck this box, and then it gives me an option. I can either export this as an SQL file and run this through a database, or I can save the changes that we'll find with this plugin, and I can save those changes to the database automatically. It has been my experience with this plugin that the first time you run this, it will not work, and you'll have to run it a second time, and then it will work. I do not know why that is. That just happens to be the way it seems to go. So I'm going to hit Do Search and Replace. I'm going to let it run. This is querying the entire database of all of the articles on this site. And in this case, it looked in one table, the one we told it to, and it found 80 cells that needed to be updated. We can, and it says need to be updated. Notice the verbiage there. I don't think it actually changed anything. I can click View Details if I want, and I can see all the different instances where it could be making the changes, but the first time I run this, each time it doesn't seem to do anything. I believe it will still have the same problem. So, I'm going to repeat these steps all over again one more time. I'm going to grab that short link, put it in the search for, grab the longer link, and put that in the replace with. I'm going to select the post table again. My cursor is jumping just a little bit. Apologize, that's not super clear. I'm going to hit Save Changes to the database. I'm going to run Do Search and Replace to replace all of those different 80 spots. There's probably 80 different articles that have that link, or the link has been typed in 80 different times, maybe 4 times on one page and 1 on another, and so on. This time it gives me the notification the following changes were made to the database and search pattern not found. That generally means that this is fixed now. So if we were to look for this short link on our website, we were to do a site-wide search for that specific full link, it should come up empty. And there are no more search results for that link. So we've just fixed that 80 articles. We fixed the links, broken links on 80 articles all in one fell swoop. Now, if we do a search for wp.me and it wants to autofill for me, but I don't want that. If I hit search, we can see that there are other articles on our site that have wp.me links. And we can go through and find the next short link that needs to be done, and we can then proceed to do a batch of however many times that next link that we find will show up throughout the site. It might be 1 time, it might be 83 times, it might be 1,200 times. So this is kind of a batch process. You won't know how many batches you have to do until you've done them. So I hope that helps, and please do be careful and make backups or have somebody that has experience run this. This is something that you can learn to do, but if you make a search and replace and you add a dot or a space or an extra character or the wrong link, it's going to make 80 insertions of that wrong link, of that mistake throughout your site, and it may be difficult to find and replace those. So keep notes if you can. I did not do that in this video. I did not show you keeping the process of keeping notes, but I would keep a record, maybe in a spreadsheet, of every single link that you searched for and what you replaced it with. It might help you go back and make corrections if you do make a mistake along the way. Hope that helps, and if you need help doing this, please feel free to reach out to me at softdoit.com, Softdoit Media. My name's Brett. I'd be happy to do this work for you for a fee, of course, and happy to help you clean this up. There's lots of other things that can be done with this. This is a basic example demonstrating what can be done for someone that might want to do it themselves.